Good afternoon, viewers and listeners of Concerned Citizens Media. Welcome back. Nice to have you here. I'm here to share some news with you and some videos at the end of the reading material. Thank you again. Let's get started. Here are the news and the Concerned Citizens Media comments for March 19, 2021. Pro Abiy Ahmed, pro Isaias Afwerki, pro genocide, pro war crimes, and anti-federalist protesters continue their intimidation and threats against the United States, European Union, human rights organizations, and the global media. Such rallies are organized and financed by Ethiopia and Eritrean diplomats and their families, plus their supporters in the diaspora communities. Congresswoman Karen Bass was the target of such intimidation and threat by these protesters in her hometown, Los Angeles, California. They insulted her as she has no facts on the Tigray region war crimes, genocide, and crimes against humanity. These facts are clearly reported by United States satellite surveillances, human rights organizations, global media, from survivors' account, and even from the Ethiopian military and the civilian officers. So the evidence is clear. All the atrocities happened in Tigray war. All the killing, all the genocide. So the diaspora community organized by Isaias Afwerki, Abiy Ahmed, and social activists supported by the government of Eritrea and Ethiopia, organized to cover up all these crimes. Despite all these known facts, these protesters and their organizers are attempting to cover up and threatening individuals and countries for speaking up for the victims of this grave criminal conduct. The United States and the European Union officials and the human rights organizations and the global media will not be forced to change their stance about these facts in Tigray because of the threats and the intimidation coming from Pro Abiy Ahmed and Pro Isaias Afwerki. So it will not work, but they are trying, intimidating, threatening, insulting officials, and blaming the United States for speaking up, blaming the European Union, international organizations. You know, you cannot hide facts by threatening, by intimidating officials in the United States or in Europe or the media. You cannot force them to change the facts. So they tried, but it didn't work. COVID-19 is on the rise in Ethiopia. The COVID-19 was one of the excuses used for postponing the required election in Ethiopia and for waging the war against the TPLF in Tigray. The Abiy Ahmed administration is playing politics with it by denying others not to have gatherings and protests during and allowing his supporters to come out in a large numbers despite COVID-19. Ethiopians are paying the price for such lack of leadership on this serious virus now. So the government is playing politics with COVID-19. One, he extended the election, postponed, and claiming, you know, it's it's not safe to do election under COVID-19. So TPLF rejected that idea and conducted its own election. So the government, the central government, was not happy. Carried out, the war that could be resolved through diplomatic or dialogue, but damage is already done. Huge damage on Tigrayans, not only on TPL, but the Tigrayans in general. So the reports are clear. So now he also play, politics by denying others not to gather for protest or for other activities, political activities. But when it comes to its own supporters, he let them he let them do whatever they want to do. So through this process, the citizens impacted. Now it is on the rise, and it's tough. Meanwhile, Ethiopia got some AstraZeneca vaccines for inoculation. This drug must be used with caution due to some reports of blood clots in the patient. Several countries such as Germany, France, Italy, Sudan, Congo, Latvia, Thailand, and many others stopped using AstraZeneca due to such serious side effects. The European Union medicine regulator has concluded that the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine is safe to use. Emmer Cook, executive director of EMA, which is equivalent of the United States FDA, said AstraZeneca is safe and effective vaccine. So its benefits outweighs its risk, she added. Such words about these vaccines are encouraging, but Ethiopians should use it with caution instead of rejecting it like other countries. Something is better than nothing, as it has been said. So Ethiopia got AstraZeneca, and AstraZeneca is rejected by so many countries due to its side effect, creating blood clots. Now the agency say no, it is safe, it is effective. Okay, is positive words, but still use it with caution. And if you say something like blood clots, you got to stop, just like other countries. So the United Kingdom banned Ethiopian flights from entering, citing COVID-19 concerns. This ban begins on March 19, which is today, 2021, and it will not affect the cargo flights. Other countries banned for the same situation are Oman, Qatar, Somalia, and other 30 countries. So Ethiopia is paying the price now for not taking of the issue seriously, playing politics with it. Now this banning will affect the economy of that country, and in another turn, in another way, means the people gonna suffer. They are already suffering. Biden envoy is heading to Ethiopia. President Joe Biden is sending Senator Chris Coons to Ethiopia to deliver president's serious concerns about the war in Tigray to the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed. The United States repeatedly described the conditions in Tigray region as ethnic cleansing and demanded international independent investigations into it. Senator Chris Coons is also expected to have consultation with African Union. Concerned citizens media hopes the senator urged Abiy Ahmed to leave the office and call for the transitional government in that country. Ethiopia is weakened and became the land of killings and other atrocities. It is becoming a failed state under the current leadership. The country is spending its resources on military hardwares like tanks, machine guns, and others to fight domestic conflict instead of using dialogues and reconciliation. Now, the country cannot even allocate money for doctors that the country and the citizens are waiting for their desperate needed services. Recently, about 400 medical doctors in the Amara region have been requesting the government to let them leave the country so that they can get employment somewhere else. This is unfortunate condition, and it will have a very bad impact on the hopes and the dreams of the future generation in that country. Change of leadership is desperately needed in Ethiopia, and I hope the senator will address the overall situation of Ethiopia with Abiy Ahmed and his supporters. The Tigray concern is not enough to resolve that country's dangerous past. So it's not only the Tigrayan issue. We got so many different issues, including the command posts in Oromia, Benishangul, including different assassinations in that country. It's a failed state. So I hope you will ask him, please leave the office. You are not doing good job. You are a failed leader. Your leadership is a failure. So I hope you will ask him to form transitional government instead of running fake election. Election will not save that country. That country is broken. Okay, that's my comment and the news. The importance of baby aspirin in reducing COVID-19 deaths. The low dose of aspirin may help patients the lungs and reduce the need to put patients on ventilators, researchers reported on Wednesday. The cheap and widely available pills, mean aspirin, also keeps patients out of ICUs and can reduce the risk of death, probably by preventing tiny blood clots. A team at George Washington University reported in a study published in the Journal of Anesthesia and Analgesia. Aspirin is particularly attractive because it is one of the most widely available over-the-counter drugs. Its cost, as just cents per dose, is minuscule compared with other commonly used anti-COVID drugs such as remdesivir, which is hard to read, which can run thousands of dollars for a typical treatment course. Aspirin can help prevent blood clots, which is why people who have had a heart attack are often advised to take a baby aspirin every day. So for details of this study, you can check CNN March 18, 2021 report. So have baby aspirin as a first aid package in your house and keep it from reach of children, because aspirin is very, very important pill to protect heart failure or heart attacks, and by preventing blood clots. So this is helping COVID-19 patients also very important. Keep some at home. especially for senior citizens like me. You know, Ethiopia-Sudan tension. Sudan created a huge obstacle for peace by a new demand to Ethiopia. Sudanese General Security Council President Abdul Fattah al-Burhan demanded that Ethiopia must recognize the 1902 border agreement before the start of any negotiation. This is a new demand, 1902. So this is a new demand from Sudan side. The 1902 border gives the extension to Sudan, the extension of Sudan into Ethiopia's Al-Fashka and Benishangul Gumuz region, which holds the hydro dam project. So no way Ethiopia will accept this. But Sudan is creating a huge obstacle for Ethiopia. This is a non-starter on Ethiopia's side, and the effort to end the border conflict between Sudan and Ethiopia peacefully is over unless Sudan changes its current demand. Ethiopia is not yet responded to this new Sudanese ultimatum. Credit the Sudan Tribune. So, because Ethiopia is in a very, very bad shape, very, very weak situation, Sudan is bringing different demand. This is non-started. Recognizing 1902 border agreement. I don't know if there is one, which gives Benishangul, including the hydro dam, the big project, which is Ethiopia is hoping to get benefit in the future. So no way that can happen, but it's an obstacle created by Sudan now. And we're going to follow it and report to you. The other one is the last one, not the last one, I have one more. The death of Getachew Assefa. I hope it is true, but sometimes the government, when they got defeated somewhere by TPLF or Oromo Liberation Front, they will spread false news. This is a very high ranking official during TPLF time. So it's reported his death. Getachew Assefa is dead. According to various media outlets, his death is reported as a natural cause, to be specific, heart failure. He was the head of the intelligence agency in Ethiopia under the TPLF-dominated era. Justice is not served for thousands who suffered tremendously under his notorious operation in that country. He was responsible for several grave human rights violations carried out in Ethiopian jails. So that's why I say justice is not served. His death is natural death. He should be caught, brought to justice with evidence, and found him guilty, but it didn't happen. So justice is not served, but he's reported, just reported by so many different media outlets, is dead. That's the end for him. I hope it is true. As I said, the government spreads false news, fake news to divert attention when he got defeated somewhere, like Jalmarro time or other TPLF officials reported dead, but they came up. So just I'm reporting with caution. Okay, the last one. IRS, Internal Revenue Service, extended tax filing deadline due to the impacts of COVID-19. So the new deadline for you to file your tax return is May 17, 2021. And instead of April 15, this year is going to be May 17, 2021. So you got almost a 1 month extension to file your income, your tax return. Okay, that's enough for the reading part. I have very short videos. Let's see. Then we're going to conclude today's presentation.
The first overseas trip by top cabinet officials in the Biden administration. America's top diplomat and defense secretary held face-to-face talks with their counterparts in Tokyo. Both Anthony Blinken and General Lloyd Austin using the occasion to put China on notice.
We're united in the vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific region, where countries follow the rules, cooperate whenever they can, and resolve their differences peacefully. And in particular, we will push back if necessary when China uses coercion or aggression to get its way.
China is a pacing challenge for the Department of Defense. And we know that competing in today's shifting global dynamics can only be done through the spirit of teamwork and cooperation.
The visit to Tokyo comes days after Joe Biden met virtually with the leaders of Japan, Australia, and India as part of the Quad Alliance. Beijing says the forum is an attempt by Washington to build a mini NATO in the Indo-Pacific. Secretary Blinken and General Austin will head to South Korea next. This as the U.S. mulls how to handle North Korea after Washington's overtures to Pyongyang have gone unanswered. While Joe Biden has reaffirmed America's commitment to NATO and its transatlantic allies in Europe, standing up to China remains one of the hallmarks of his young presidency to date.
Last night, Oromo Liberation Army OLA shared a video. OLA shared a video about capturing an Ethiopian forces military camp in southern Oromia. According to, I'll show you the video viewers. In the video, OLA fighters can be seen entering a military camp in southern Oromia. According to OLA fighters, the military camp is situated in Goro Dola district in East Goji zone of Oromia, and battle between Ethiopian forces and OLA fighters for the control of this military camp continued for more than 4 days. OLA fighters are saying that after a 4-day-long battle, they have managed to take control of this military camp in southern Oromia. Watch the video shared by OLA fighters of entering the military camp in southern Oromia, viewers. Thank you for watching.
So they're speaking in Pan Oromo, saying that after an extended 4-day fight with Ethiopian military force, they defeated them and they captured the camp, the military camp. And he is saying the resistance will continue until the freedom is achieved in Oromia.
ralleen tarkaanfii akkanattiin fudhannaa jecha. Nuti duubatti hin deebinu duratti uummata Oromoo bilisoomsuuf wanti nu deemsu hin jiru.
He's saying the OLF looks like this for whether you are enemies or friends of OLF. You should know that they will not go, they will not
Genetics
give
and
it
your
up.
age didn't cause your diabetes.
They will
Find out
continue
what
their
did and how to
fight,
reverse your diabetes.
resistance for freedom and justice, and to remove
My name is Dr. Jason Crockett, and 10 years ago I had a patient ask me which
the
of 4
dictators
diets that
out
their
of
physician
Oromia.
had given them would be the best to reduce their blood sugars.
Well, good afternoon, and welcome. On behalf of National Security Advisor Sullivan and myself,
This is the first
I want to welcome
U.S.-Chinese
Dr. Yang,
meeting
to Alaska, and thank
under
you very much for
Biden,
making
under
the journey
President
with us.
Joe Biden.
I've just returned myself from meetings with Secretary of Defense Austin and our counterparts in Japan and the Republic of Korea, 2 of our nation's closest allies. They were very interested in the discussions that we'll have here today and tomorrow, because the issues that we'll raise are relevant not only to China and the United States, but to others across the region and indeed around the world. Today, we'll have an opportunity to discuss key priorities, both domestic and global, so that China can better understand our administration's intentions and approach. We'll also discuss our deep concerns with actions by China, including in Xinjiang, Hong Kong, Taiwan, cyber attacks on the United States, economic coercion toward our allies. Each of these actions threaten the rules-based order that maintains global stability. That's why they're not merely internal matters, and why we feel an obligation to raise these issues here today. I've said that the United States relationship with China will be competitive where it should be, collaborative where it can be, adversarial where it must be. Our discussions here in Alaska, I suspect, will run the gamut. Our intent is to be direct about our concerns, direct about our priorities, with the goal of a more clear-eyed relationship between our countries moving forward. Thank you for being here.
Okay, that's it. That's a brief situation around the world, and thank you for taking your time and to listen to Concerned Citizens Media, and please share with families and friends, subscribe, like my video, so it will have more audience in the future, so we can share our concerns, Ethiopia's concern, other countries' concern, and other global issues, because we are interconnected. So thank you again for your time. Finally, I want to say, Mr. or Senator Chris Coons, I stress that I hope he will address the need for the transitional government in Ethiopia instead of holding fake undemocratic election when the 60% of that country's citizens are not part of it, the Oromos. I know some fake groups try to participate, the ones separated from the OLF. So it is sad to hear that. It is shameful that's happening, and at this time when the Oromos are suffering. I reported last time, these people are self-interest group. They are not fighting for the people. They are Pro Abiy, purchased by some financial gains or political gains in the future. We don't know, but they created this, and this critical time to, instead of ending the suffering of Oromos, they are attempting to gain some personal benefit. So it is very sad to hear that. They, you know, the government is facilitating everything for them to participate in the election to get some credibility. Yes, yes, that's it. That's only one. Credibility and recognition and acceptance at the global stage. I hope that will not happen. I hope Senator Chris Coons and his delegate will address the need for the transition. So that's all I have. Thank you again for taking your time, and I will be back with other news and videos. So long, everyone.